Good evening and welcome back to the Rory Talks Football channel, your daily Arsenal news updates, debates and my opinions. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, smash a like on the stream, video, whatever way you're watching it as well. It does massively help me out. And it is a Friday night. It's been a big day. The UCL draw has been made. What do we think about it? Lots of you in the chat already. It's good to see you. Vilgot, Drax, Totally Carl, VV Vlad, Louis C, Verdi, Crispy Rice, Ross Lawman, Josh Emerson, Carter, Emilio, Hannah, Ethan Udall, Pekka, Youngtar. It is good to see you all. What do we think? I've got a poll running in the YouTube chat. What do you think happens? We lose to Bayern Munich. We make it past Bayern Munich, but we lose to Real Madrid or Man City. We make it to the final, but lose to one of the teams on the other side of the draw. Or we win it all. Do we win it all? I'll tell you what my personal, personal opinion is shortly. VV Vlad says if we get past Bayern, April is going to be brutal. It is indeed. April is going to be tough. Absolutely. Kamar is from Jamaica. Welcome. Welcome. Do we have any other Jamaicans in the chat? I'd like to go to Jamaica. I would like to go to Jamaica. You couldn't write the draw? No. I mean, it's literally the exact opposite of what I asked for. Literally the exact opposite of what I asked for. I even tweeted, I said, right, give us Dortmund, Barca, or PSG, and then put Real Madrid and Man City on the other side of the draw. So what did they do? They put us on the same side of the draw as Man City and Real Madrid, and they put Barca, Dortmund, and PSG all on the other side. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for that one. I mean, look, at the end of the day, you know, if you want, I hate the phrase, if you want to win it, you've got to, what's the phrase? If you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best, right? Technically true, but not necessarily. In the sense that, for example, Barcelona could get to the final by beating PSG and one of Dortmund and Atletico Madrid. By that point, Arsenal, Bayern Munich, and Real Madrid could all be out without having faced them. I don't like the phrase. Just swap us with Atletico Madrid. If we'd swapped with Atletico Madrid, it would have been perfection, absolute perfection. Max says I jinxed it. To be honest, I have been the ultimate jinx recently. I tweeted a minute before Leandro Trossard scored. I tweeted saying he needed to go off. I tweeted a joke about Bayer Leverkusen or Granit Xhaka going out of the Europa League in the round of 16 unexpectedly at home whilst leading the title race. They turned it around 1-3-2. To be honest, I was happy with that. But yeah, I have been the ultimate jinx recently, which isn't going too well. Ross Lawman says he loved the draw. Win-win. Arsenal need to go against the best teams, and if we don't win the UCL or Prem, it will be another lesson to learn to take us further next year. I think you're right, Ross. I do think you're right. I think, if we hold up, wait a minute. If we had lost to any of the teams on the other side of the draw, I think people would have said that that was a failure. Bayern Munich, the narrative will change once we actually play them. Right now, the narrative is Arsenal won't beat Bayern Munich. They could barely scrape past Porto. Bayern Munich are a proper team. Yada, yada, yada. Oh, 10-2. Remember 10-2? Yada, yada, yada. That will rapidly change because once we play them, either we beat them and it will become you only beat them when they're having their worst season in a decade. They're 10 points off top in Bundesliga. They're having a terrible season. That's the only reason you beat them. Or if we lose to them, it'll be you bottled to Bayern Munich and they're having the worst season ever. You couldn't even beat a Bayern Munich team that's 10 points off top. So there is no winning, really, when it comes to the narratives that people create. But I do think, look, if we can beat Bayern, it's not the end of the world. It's not, it's not, what's the word? Shameful to go out to Real Madrid or Man City if that's what ends up happening. So, and then I guess the other side of it is you go, well, if you do get to the final, you're in a great position to win it because I'd back us against any team from the other side of the draw. But there we go. No fans for Bayern Munich. Yeah, so Bayern Munich will not have any fans. Now, that's good on two counts. One, Bayern Munich have no fans. Two, we will be allowed to fill the away section with home fans. So that's 3,000 extra tickets that will go on sale to Arsenal fans. Presumably, they will be balloted off to red and silver members the same way tickets are normally. So that's an absolute bonus that we've got. But yeah, the draw overall, you know, Atletico against Dortmund, one of them's getting to the semis, which is crazy. Who does the allocation go to, red or family? My guess would be that it will go to red. My guess would be that it will go to red, not family, but we'll see. I'm glad we didn't get Real Madrid, Man City, or Atletico Madrid. Yeah, but then we've got to play one of City and Real Madrid. You need to make sure you take advantage of the no away fans. Well, that's the thing. I would have much preferred it if we had the away leg second. If we had the home leg second. Because we go into that Bayern game at home, there will be pressure on it. And it's like, if we don't win that game, I think we're in trouble. If we're not carrying a lead going away to Bayern Munich, I think we're in trouble. So there's a lot of pressure on that first leg to get the win, which is going to be very difficult. Thoughts on Muller? Yeah, Muller made a little video. Fair play to him. I like Thomas Muller. I think he's a good guy. Liverpool, the real winners here. Their Europa draw. Yeah, I mean, Liverpool have had the most unbelievably perfect day. Literally, it could not have gone better for Liverpool. Man City and Arsenal got the hardest draws possible, and Liverpool got the easiest draw possible. I mean, it was perfect for them. But you know, you win some, you lose some. The draw is the draw. The draw is the draw. What can you do about it? Literally 3 wins away from UCL. Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's 5 games, but I suppose it is only 3 wins that you need. Also puts a lot of pressure on our away fans if we lose the home leg. It does. Yeah, I mean, if we lose the home leg, then it's big problems. Hi, good to see you. We all love the Muller beer memes. Yeah, we do. The other thing, George Christodoulou, good to see you. The other thing, apologies for my voice is rapidly falling away for some reason. The other thing is that the Arsenal Bayern Munich game and the Real Madrid Man City game are going to be on at the same time on the same night. So you're not, obviously I'll be at the home game, well, hopefully if I can get a ticket, but you won't be able to watch both of them live because they're both going to be on at 8 p.m. on the same day for both fixtures, for the first legs and the second legs, which is terrible. And it wouldn't have been like that, but apparently, so Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid both came out as having their home games first. So Real Madrid and Atletico are both at home in the first things, and apparently Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid can't both be at home on the same night because it would be carnage in Madrid. So yeah, pretty rubbish if you ask me. Obviously, like, you will be able, you know, in 2024 you can probably stream both of the games or watch both of the games, but yeah, if you're at the Arsenal game, you're not going to be able to watch the Real Madrid Man City game, which you know, is pretty rubbish. Will Bowden, thank you very much for the £2 super chat. He says, "Do you think we have the squad depth for the UCL?" I do. I do think we have the squad depth for it. You know, we're at a point where, as long as, touch wood, as long as no one gets injured during the international break, we will be we'll be going into the Man City game with a fully fit squad. And I'm looking around, and I do think there are a couple of positions where if a player gets injured, we're in trouble. You know, I look at Saliba, Rice, Odegaard, and Saka as players that if they get injured, problemo, right? Because I don't think the difference... Look, we have defenders that can step in for William Saliba, don't get me wrong. You could put Ben White there and move Tomiyasu at right back. You could put Timber straight in there. But if you lose Saliba, I don't think we have a like-for-like replacement in terms of the pace and the power that he has. And that's such a big part of the way we play. With Declan Rice, he is levels above in terms of what he's offered us. Yes, it could be Thomas Partey that comes in for him. Thomas Partey and Jorginho cannot play twice a week for 6 weeks straight, right? Saka is Saka. We don't have the left-footed right winger to replace him. We all know that. That's something we want in the summer. And Martin Odegaard, again, we do have depth in Fabio Vieira, in Emil Smith-Rowe, but I don't think any of them are at the level right now that Odegaard's playing at. The level Odegaard is playing at, but there's barely a player in the world, I don't think, that's playing at that level. And so, again, I don't think we have the replacement. So they're the players for me that if they got injured, we'd be in trouble. Outside of that, if Raya gets injured, we've got Ramsdale. If White gets injured, we've got Tomiyasu. If Kivior gets injured or Zinchenko gets injured again, we've got, again, Tomiyasu or Timber or whoever. Gabriel gets injured, it would be tough, but you'd probably put Kivior in there. The left-sided 8 rotates anyway. Martinelli, I think Martinelli is a bigger miss than people realize, even though he's not been at his best this season necessarily. I think the pace of Martinelli will actually be a huge factor in these Champions League games. Like, from here on out, Bayern Munich will not change the way they play for us. No chance. They're Bayern Munich. Same with Real Madrid and Man City. And that is where Martinelli will come into his own. Look, obviously, you wouldn't want Ramsdale in the running necessarily, but relative to most teams, the drop-off from our first choice to our second choice keeper is not a lot. Please do not tweet about Arsenal players and injuries, you jinx. Yeah, I probably shouldn't do that. I probably should avoid doing that. Or I should tweet, I've got a really bad feeling Declan Rice is going to get injured. And then theoretically, he shouldn't get injured. But no, I don't actually believe in jinxes. So there you go. Do you think the run of Champions League games can affect our Premier League running? Yeah, 100%. 100%. The way it's going to go, in fact, let me actually see if it's got it on here. The way it's going to go for Arsenal, no, it's not going to show it because they've not put in the... annoyingly, they've not added the Champions League fixtures yet, but I can kind of put them in because I know when they are, right? So, in fact, let me bring this up so you can see it. So this is Arsenal's fixtures, right? So we come back, we play Man City. After that, we play Luton. After that, we play Brighton. In this midweek, so even with that, right, we come back from international break. We play Sunday against Man City, Wednesday against Luton, Saturday against Brighton. So already that's 3 games in the first 6 days after the international break. 3 days later, Tuesday the 9th, we're going to play against Bayern Munich at home. Then we play Aston Villa at home. Aston Villa themselves have a European game that week, which is somewhat useful. Then we play Bayern Munich away. No, sorry. Yeah, then we play Bayern Munich away. Do we? No, something else is going here, though. Chelsea. So Chelsea goes in here, I think. Then we play Bayern Munich away before we play Spurs. Then we play Spurs. Now, what is it? Let me pull it up. It's not that. It's not that. That doesn't sound right. Okay, no. So it is. So it is. It's Bayern between Brighton and Villa. Then it's Bayern again after Villa. So it literally does go Bayern, Villa, Bayern. Then Wolves. Although that might get moved, depending on things. And then if we make it through, it gets even worse. If we make it through, it gets even worse. Because if we make it through, we have Spurs away. Then the midweek after that, we have City or Real Madrid at home. And then the week after that, we'll play Real Madrid or Man City away. And then we'll play Man United away. Basically, all in, it's going to be, if we make it past Bayern, it's going to be absolute carnage. We will play, in total, we will play 14 games in 6 weeks. So you're averaging more than 2 games a week for 6 weeks straight. And some of those periods, it will be like, we will play Spurs away, United away, Real Madrid or Man City at home, and Real Madrid or Man City away, all in the space of like 14 days. So Chelsea... Well, according to the thing I read, Chelsea's actually going to come in here where Wolves is somewhere, and Wolves is going to get postponed. But I think that's something to do with the fact it's to do with Chelsea's FA Cup run, basically. It hangs on Chelsea's FA Cup run. Because one of these weekends, I believe, is an FA Cup weekend if the teams make it through. So then it will become a midweek game. So Wolves might end up way later in the season. Rory, Odegaard is better than Musiala, to be honest, because I take Odegaard in a combined 11. It's close. To be honest, I see so much more of Odegaard. I feel like I couldn't make a fair judgment on that. I think Musiala is incredibly talented. I don't think Musiala's passing and vision of passing is probably as good as Odegaard's. But again, he made that outside of the foot pass in one of the Champions League games to Kane that was unbelievable. So who knows? Leo Nesbitt, good to see you. Wolves are still in the FA Cup, so potentially miss. Potentially. Yeah. So this weekend, the Wolves weekend is an FA Cup weekend. And if Wolves are still in it, we will get a weekend off after Bayern away, which would be big. We would then probably play midweek before we play against Spurs. Both legs will probably come down to the attitude of Sane. Don't you agree? Possibly. Does Sane have attitude problems? I don't know. I love this team, but I feel we are missing the clutch player. Every team has it. Vinny, Jude, Haaland, De Bruyne, Mbappe, Griezmann. Every team has that one player that can make something out of nothing. I feel like we do have those players. Maybe not quite operating at the same level. But I mean, I think Declan Rice is one of those players. I think Bukayo Saka is one of those players. I do see what you're saying. But then we do have, I think, an all-round just higher level squad than a lot of them. Do you think we will be trophyless again this season? I did look, being completely honest and trying to be objective about it, I do think Arsenal have I think it's more likely than not that Arsenal go trophyless. I think it's more likely than not. I would still be surprised if we won either of those trophies from where we are. Because we've, either we win the Champions League by beating Bayern Munich over 2 legs and beating one of Real Madrid and Man City over 2 legs, or we win the Premier League despite having an incredibly tough run and playing those games in between them. Either way, it would be very impressive. Very impressive. If they play Upamecano, we score a lot. He is terrible. Yeah, I think their defense is poor. I really think we can get at that Bayern Munich defense. I do. We aren't winning the UCL. Yeah, it's unlikely. It's unlikely for sure. When we have 3 games a week, surely Partey, Tommy, Zinchenko, Jesus, Trossard, and possibly Vieira play each start 1 game. Surely Arteta trusts these players as they've all been starters previously. Yes, look, for me, and this is the thing, right? And I can't remember. Someone said it on Twitter today. Arteta has to be proactive with the way that he rotates the team. Arteta can't just, after the international break, have the same starting 11 4, 5 games in a row, and then we start going, oh, quite a lot of them are tired now because they've played 5 games in 2 weeks. And then you go, okay, we need to make a load of rotation. Like, it should be 1 or 2 rotations here or there, most games, unless it's City or a Champions League game. It needs to be 1 or 2 rotations because otherwise they're going to burn out. It's an unbelievable amount of fixtures and high intensity fixtures in a small amount of time. We have to be able to do that. Surely we can score a few if Eric Dyer is playing. Hopefully. And hopefully we don't concede too many to Harry Kane, which would be incredibly painful. I don't know why, but I have a feeling that if we beat City, we break the Prem win streak record, 19 on the bounce. I don't know why, but I feel it. I mean, listen, Kyle, I would be... I mean, look, if we win 19 in a row, no one can really complain about us winning the Premier League. We know Saka, Saliba, Odegaard, Rice won't be rotated, which is incredibly frustrating. Yeah, it is, yeah. It is. But they have to be. They have to be. Like Luton, like Ross says, we play Man City, then we play Luton. Luton at home, we have to rotate. And look, if you rotate, and I'm talking, bringing in the likes of Thomas Partey, Tomiyasu, players that are meant to be good enough, absolutely meant to be good enough, right? If you rotate those players in and you drop points to Luton at home, then your squad is not good enough. It's as simple as that. You cannot not rotate any of them and then at the end go, we didn't want to rotate because we wanted to win the games. You can't do that. You can't do that. Pep doesn't do it. Klopp doesn't do it. You can't do it. Rory, who plays left back against City, for me, it's still Kivior, but I don't mind if it's Tommy. The tricky thing for me with Tommy is bringing him straight back in. He's not played for Arsenal since December. He's not played for Arsenal since December, and you're talking about bringing him in for a game that's effectively in April. That, for me, is a problem. So I would probably go Jakub Kivior. I probably would go Jakub Kivior. Rory, what will you get tattooed, etc. if we win anything this year? I won't get a tattoo. I don't know what I'd do if we win, but it won't be a tattoo. It won't be a tattoo. Luton is a must rotate. Yeah, for sure. I mean, again, I'll go back to it. The games that we should be rotating realistically, Luton at home, Bournemouth at home. To be fair, outside of that, when you look at it, it's fairly tricky. Are there any other games? Everton at home, right towards the end. I mean, the final day of the season. There's no point rotating final day of the season. Actually, yeah, it's quite tough. There really are not many games we can rotate. Like maybe Wolves away or Brighton away, but they're not really ideal for rotating. It's tough. It's tough. It is tough. Hot take: Atletico Madrid would be the hardest team for us to play. They'd definitely be up there. Yeah. That's why I said I'd rather have got PSG or Barcelona or Dortmund than Atletico Madrid. Even though I think Atletico Madrid arguably have the weakest squad, maybe second weakest behind Dortmund, they would be very difficult to play. United away as a walkover. Yeah, Old Trafford's just one of those places. Might not have been the worst idea for Tommy to get some minutes with Japan. Yeah, but if he'd gone with Japan and then got injured again, people would have absolutely lost their minds. He can get. Look, I don't know if they're going to play a friendly over the international break at Arsenal, but maybe he can play. I don't know if the under-21s are going to. I don't really know, but it would be good if he could get some sort of proper game time before the City game. Atletico are my dark horses to win the whole thing. Yeah, well, look, I did my predictions earlier. If you've not seen it, if you don't follow me on Twitter or Instagram or anything, on TikTok or Instagram, my predictions were, being completely honest, Arsenal beat Bayern, City beat Real Madrid, Atletico beat Dortmund, and Barca beat PSG. City then beat Arsenal in the one semi-final. Atletico Madrid beat Barca in the other semi-final, and then City beat Atletico in the final. But I could see them getting to the final, genuinely. Real Madrid will be harder than City. I disagree. At that stage of the season, 2 legs against City, brutal. I mean, the incredible thing is, if we did get City, we'd have the opportunity to beat them 5 times in total this season. We've already beaten them twice this season. We'd have another 3 games against them. Can the Arsenal fan behind Lasagna Gate please can you do your magic for our players away on international duty? Yeah, we need it. TalkSport running about 20 videos slamming Ben White. The English media is honestly laughable. Southgate PR machine better than it. Nearly said that. Yeah, look, I don't disagree. It was blatant what the outcome of that from Gareth Southgate was going to be. It was blatant that the English dinosaurs were going to turn on Ben White. It's blatant to me that Steve Holland, and it came out in The Athletic, there was a genuine row between Steve Holland and Ben White. Steve Holland's the England assistant coach. That led towards Ben White, Ben White already felt uncomfortable away in Qatar. And Steve Holland turned on him, gave him a dressing down in front of the other players. And he referenced the interview where Ben White said he doesn't like watching football. For me, it's clear as day. Steve Holland is one of these dinosaurs that hates the fact that Ben White's got a tan. It's all the same crap. It's always got a tan and he hates football. It was blatant. Yeah, that comment did go from 0 to 100. It's blatant. It is blatant that there's an issue with Ben White being different. And that's a problem. That's probably why Ben White doesn't want to go back. And it was basically a call to action from Southgate yesterday. He threw Ben White under the bus, and it was a call to action of he doesn't want to represent our country. Never. I mean, what Harry Redknapp today said that the door should be slammed in Ben White's face to ever play for England again. Yeah, not a fan at all. Rory, have you got an idea how they will sell the extra 2,000 tickets or however many it will be? Yeah, it'll be about 3,000 tickets. And I assume they will be added to the ballot. Which ballot, whether that's red, silver, or family, I don't know. But yeah, I'd assume they just get added to the ballot, which would be big. It'd be good. Which Arsenal player do you think will be the best boxer? The best boxer? Probably Saliba. Rory Jennings as well. Yeah, I mean, you'd fully expect it from Rory Jennings. The ballot's going to be on the something of April. Big Gabby? Yeah, I feel like Saliba would be faster. Maybe Kivior, Maybe Kivior. Do you think the ballot will prevent Bayern players from buying up tickets to the game? Yeah, Bayern fans won't get tickets to the game. Any Bayern fan that's in that end will get absolutely battered. No, the tickets will 100% go to Arsenal members. So the only way a Bayern fan could get a ticket would be if they became an Arsenal member, which I suppose is possible. But they would get battered as soon as someone found out they were a Bayern fan. Every squad is going to have different personalities, so it's down to coaching staff of England to know their players and treat some of them differently than others. Yeah, exactly. It's you have to manage all of your players, and clearly they've let Ben White down and then thrown him under the bus. Partey, nah, not Partey. Partey would throw a punch and break his own arm. Could Bayern fans not just buy them on the second-hand market? There's not really a second-hand market for Arsenal tickets anymore. Because of the way that they've clamped down on touting and the way that you have to have it has to go through a membership. Ticket touting for Arsenal doesn't really exist. That's the one good thing that they've done with the ballot system this year. Ticket touting is almost non-existent, which is why, by the way, if you ever think you're buying a ticket off someone online that you've never met before and they claim that they've got a ticket and they're going to send it to you, they're not. You're getting scammed. You are getting scammed. If you don't know who the person is because they can't send you a ticket, you're getting scammed. What do you think has changed from the team that got thrashed in 2017? Everything's changed from the team that got thrashed in 2017. The entire squad, the manager, the ethos around the club, the cycle that we're in, the cycle that Bayern Munich are in. It's all changed. We never, even at our best, we never dominated games the way that we dominate games now. And we were too fragile. That was always our issue. Our biggest issue in probably the last decade under Wenger was that we were fragile. Because we could beat the majority of teams in the Premier League, but we'd lose all of the games against the Big Four, Big Six, and we'd lose the big Champions League games consistently. We've already proven this season. We've beaten City. We've beaten Liverpool. And over the last couple of seasons, we've picked up those big wins. We've proven now we can do it. El Neni would have been there. Sorry. Yeah, El Neni would have been there. The short answer is we're just a damn sight better. We are a lot better now than we were then. Can we see the lineup from the 5-1 loss? Yes. Yes, we can. Only Xhaka and Sanchez from 2017 starting 11 would make it into our current team. Well, but I'd argue, actually, Ross, 2017 Xhaka wouldn't make... If we're taking the players that they were then, so you're taking the version of Sanchez from 2017, yeah, he gets into the team. 2017 Granit Xhaka, I'm not sure he does. Consistently getting over 100 viewers. Yeah, it's amazing. Well over 100 of you in here. Absolutely. I mean, I just massively appreciate it. Really do. I can't find that team from thingy, but it was bad. It was a bad team. Rory, what do you think will happen? Can we beat Bayern? I think we can beat Bayern. Yeah, I think we can beat Bayern. I don't think we can beat. No, look, we can beat anyone. We can beat anyone. I think we do beat Bayern. I think we don't beat City over two legs under that pressure. It does concern me the way some players played against Porto under that pressure. It does concern me a little bit. Davies versus Saka. Yeah, Davies versus Saka will be a good matchup, but I don't actually think Davies is a particularly good, and I want to word this correctly, I don't think he's a particularly tactical defender, if that makes sense. I don't think... Look, he's not a pace merchant. He's very quick. I don't want to put him in the same bracket as Kyle Walker, right, as a pace merchant. But I think you can get it. I think you can get it. You can play around Alphonso Davies, is what I would say. You can play around him. The reserve opinion on Xhaka now, like he wasn't crap from 2016 to 2021. The thing is, you don't know. Like, he might have always had the ability to play at the level we saw him last season if he'd been given the right system. I think one of the biggest issues with Granit Xhaka was that we consistently played him as a 6. We consistently played him as the deepest midfielder. And I don't think that suited him. And we never really changed it. I mean, but there were times we were playing him at left back. Like, we never really set the team up to suit Granit Xhaka at all. And he did struggle with that, right? Do you think Arsenal squad will struggle at the Allianz Arena? Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I think anyone will struggle at the Allianz, you know? This is what it's about. And it's why we have to get a positive result at home. We have to come out of that home leg with a win. We really do. We really do. Anyway, it is time for Guess the Gooner, the game where I give you 5 clues about an ex or current Arsenal player, and you have to give me who that is in the chat. First person to get it right gets the immense pride and respect of the Rory Talks Football community. Get your fingers on your keyboards ready for clue number 1. Clue number 1 is coming right up. This player won 2 Community Shields, but never the FA Cup. They won 2 Community Shields, but never the FA Cup. Clue number 2. They scored 5 goals in 71 appearances for Arsenal. They scored 5 goals in 71 appearances for Arsenal. Clue number 3. They joined Arsenal for £27 million. They joined Arsenal for £27 million. Clue number 4. They made their senior debut for Saint Etienne. They made their senior debut for Saint Etienne. And clue number 5. They turn 23 next week. They turn 23 next week. So they won 2 Community Shields, but never an FA Cup. They've scored 5 goals in 71 appearances for Arsenal. They joined us for £27 million. They made their senior debut for Saint Etienne, and they turn 23 next week. And a lot of you do now have it. I'm just trying to find who actually got it first. And it was Devin that got it first. It was indeed Saliba. It was Saliba. Devin got it first. Sportcat got it second. Ethan Udall got it third. Harry got it fourth. And Ross Lawman got it fifth. There you go, William Saliba. I thought I made it a little bit tricky with the early clues that I gave. So, according to Transfermarkt, William Saliba won his first Community Shield the year that he joined because he hadn't gone on loan by the time we won it. So, William Saliba won the Community Shield in after the FA Cup win. And then he obviously won it this year with us. So, after that FA Cup win, he was still with the squad. So, there you go. I didn't know that. But the more you know, the more you know. Devin, it's been too long since I won. Well, you're back to winning ways now, Devin. You are back to winning ways. And now it's time for Guess the Non-Gooner. I will give you the full career path of a player who does not and has not played for Arsenal. And you have to guess who that player is in the chat. First person to get it right gets some, a level of pride and respect that is high, but not quite as high as the level of respect that Devin currently has. Davies is Bayern's version of Zinchenko. Great player, but weaknesses can be exploited. Yeah, exactly. And I think Bayern Munich have quite a few players whose weaknesses can be exploited. So there you go. Anyway, right. Guess the Non-Gooner. This player started their career at Manchester United. They started their career at Manchester United. They went on loan to Leicester City. They went on loan to Watford. They went on loan to Wigan Athletic. They went on loan to Aston Villa. They made a free transfer to Everton. They went on loan to Watford. And then they moved permanently to Watford. So, they started at Manchester United. They went on loan spells at Leicester and Watford and Wigan Athletic and Aston Villa before moving permanently from Manchester United to Everton, where they went on loan to Watford before moving permanently to Watford and retiring last summer. Who got it first? It was Ross Lorman has got it. I think that is back-to-back Guess the Non-Gooner wins for Ross Lorman. He's done it very cleverly. Ross Lorman did that very cleverly. Okay. Sportcat came second. Fizzy came third. Denlar came fourth. And Ethan Udall came fifth. It was Tom Cleverly. Who the hell is Cleverly? Put some respect on Tom Cleverly's name, Mevin. He is an ex-Manchester United legend. He's now manager at Watford. He is now manager at Watford. So there you go. Ross didn't spell it correctly. No, but I'll forgive him. Shocking joke from Tory Talks Football. Wow, there you go. Harry is not happy. What happened to that young defender? We was looking at signing from Wolves as part of the new academy shakeup. I don't know actually. Back-to-back Guess the Non-Gooner is equal to one Guess the Gooner. I suppose so. What about you, John? You tell me, John. I think Thomas Tuchel is not to be underestimated in knockout competitions, having gotten PSG to their only UCL final and winning it with the kind of underwhelming Chelsea side. That's a fair point. One thing I would say, Arteta has a good record against Tuchel. I think Arteta's, I think it's like a 70% win rate. You weren't on my screen, unfortunately, John. You weren't fourth on my screen, unfortunately. You were not. Do you think Timber will feature against Bayern? Possibly. I mean, he's got over a month. Before that game. It is possible. Is it over a month? Maybe just under a month. It's possible. I don't think he'll be starting at that point. Yeah, Arteta twice beaten Tuchel with Holding starting. Exactly. This is there are genuinely, and by the way, managerial matchups are a thing. Like, it is a thing that some managerial matchups, they just work in a manager's favor. Mourinho against Wenger, you know? I think you should compare Odegaard and Musiala on FOTMOB. All right, let's compare Musiala and Odegaard on FOTMOB. Let's do it. I would bear in mind that they are quite different in the way that they play. So this is Musiala. This is very nice. 8 goals and 5 assists and 17 starts. That is also very nice. And look, I mean, his per 90 stats, shooting wise, the attacking output is very good. Passing wise, he's not putting crosses in, which is fair enough. Doesn't really make any long balls. Fair enough. Yeah, it's decent. Possession play, pretty good. And then defending, he's a good player. He is a good player. I would imagine Odegaard's is going to be relatively similar to that. Maybe not quite as much on the shooting. But we'll see. I mean, look, Musiala is a top player. He is a top player. So this is Odegaard. So actually less defensive actions for Odegaard. Lots of green performances. And then, yeah, I mean, defensively does far less. But in these areas, possession, similar. Not as many successful dribbles or as high a percent dribble success, which you'd expect. But around here, much better. Much better. So look, they are a similar level probably. Odegaard plays differently. What you would want from Musiala in the team would be, I would say, a more attacking output. But I mean, imagine having both of them. Orthopedic folks say ACL takes 9 to 12 months to heal and become strong enough to play. Too early a return risks re-tearing. Yeah, that's true, but it does also it depends on if it's just the ACL or which in Timber's case it was just the ACL. There was no other damage. So we'll see. Look, I don't want to rush him back. To be honest. Who would you rather face, City or Madrid? Sorry if you've already answered. I actually don't think I did answer that. I would rather face Real Madrid than Man City, 100%. Way rather face Real Madrid than Man City. If nothing else, if we're going to go out to one of them, I actually think Man City would be the harder game anyway. But if we're going to go out to one of them, I'd rather go out to Real Madrid than Man City. Definitely. It would be a more exciting game. It's years since we played Real Madrid. Yeah, would way rather play against Real Madrid. Rory Legend, top 3 keys to making it through. The top 3 keys to making it through are keeping clean sheets in both games. That's one way to do it. You keep a clean sheet in both games, unless they're both 0-0 draws, you're going through. We've got to be clinical at home. Have to be clinical at home and take a lead in. You know, we have to go to the Allianz with a lead, in my opinion. Timber's been, 7 months? It was August. So, yeah, basically, September, October, November, December, January, February, March. By the time we hit April, it'll be 8 months. You know, it's not unreasonable to say that he can play towards the end of the season. Watched Gyökeres yesterday, but struggled to see if he was the striker we need. Got a nice assist, and I can see the potential to become a very complete striker, just whether he can do it straight away. Yeah, I mean, Gyökeres' assist last night was wonderful, and that's the exact sort of assist I can see him getting at Arsenal. There are 100%. I'd say the biggest flaw in his game, I think, is his pressing. But I do think that's something that he can learn. I think he can come in and I think Eddie Nketiah's pressing, it's actually fallen off a bit again now. But last season, Eddie Nketiah's pressing, after learning from Gabriel Jesus, massively improved. I think Gyökeres can improve in that aspect. And I think his all-round game is very, very good. That assist I loved. Hold the ball up, wait for the runner, feed it into them perfectly. That is what you want. Havertz to score the winner in Germany and he brings home a bag of Harry Kane tears. That would be the dream. The dream would be Kai Havertz massively outperforming Harry Kane. That would be, you would love to see it. Do you see Partey and Tomiyasu starting against City, possibly even playing against City, possibly even starting? I don't see them starting because neither of them have really played since, I mean, Partey was November and Tomiyasu was December. I think we'll pretty much see the same team that we've been seeing in the last few games, but with Martinelli back in on the left-hand side. I think the lineup will be Raya in goal, White, Saliba, Gabriel Kivior, Rice, Jorginho, Odegaard, Saka, Havertz, Martinelli. I would be very surprised if that's not the team, to be honest. But we'll see. Obviously, all of those players have to come back from the international break without injury, which is a big thing, but we'll see. Look, anyway, that is going to be the end of the stream. Thank you very much for joining. As always, it's been a brilliant week of streaming. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a Friday night. Go and enjoy it. I hope you have a fantastic evening. I will potentially be back at 6:30 tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, until then, please subscribe if you haven't already. Drop a like on the video. And yeah, I will catch you all hopefully tomorrow. I'm going to be live for Liverpool versus Man United FA Cup on Sunday if I'm not live tomorrow night. So there you go. Au revoir. Goodbye.